Welcome to American Whiskey. As always, I'm your favorite host in the whole entire world, Big Turd. Dylan's not here. He's working. But we do have, believe it or not, for the second week in a row, we've got Dougie Fresh.
What's up?
Peanut.
What's up, everybody?
Levi's over there with no mic. We forgot to get him set up, too. But we've also got our very, very close friend of the podcast, Mr. Farmer Vaughn Davis. And he's going to be sitting down with us tonight talking about what he's bringing to the table and what he's doing over at SchoolHouse Farms. We've been there. It's gorgeous. It's amazing. We're excited for this. I don't like to call them interviews. Just we're hanging out. We're hanging out. So grab a beer, grab a whiskey, grab whatever it is you sip on, and let's hydrate together over the next 30 minutes to an hour. You never know. You never know with us. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. And of course, you guys know we start the podcast every week talking about our two favorite companies out there. Two of some of the favorite companies. How do you say it? Do you see what I'm saying, Doug?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right now, I made a commercial for two companies, but there's a lot of other good companies out there. But the first one we're going to do is for Burned Out Winery. Come on. Push the button. There you go. If you're looking for a unique wine experience, check out Burned Out Winery. Founded by a team of siblings who turned their passion for winemaking into a thriving business. They focus on crafting exceptional small batch wines from Moscato to tart cherry and spiced apple to their delightful sangrias. There's something for everyone. Each bottle tells a story, complete with a creative name that reflects their journey. Their wines are not only fantastic, but they're also affordable, making them a great choice for any occasion. You can easily order online at burnedoutwinery.com or connect with them on Facebook. They deliver. Whether you're local or out of state, they'll ship right to your front door. Support this hardworking team and savor the taste of Burned Out Winery. This is Big Sturge with American Whiskey. All right, guys. So we're back. Thank you, Burned Out Winery, for producing some of the best wine we've ever had. Now, welcome to the show, Vaughn Davis. We're glad you're here, and we're glad we get to harass you for the next at least 35 minutes. How you doing, brother?
Great. I'm doing all right.
So first thing we like to do is go around the horn here, talk about what we're sipping on. We do. You brought over Peanut brought over some Horse Soldier. I've never had it. Small batch bourbon.
I haven't either.
We'll try that, see how it goes. But I'm drinking a natty.
As am I.
I am drinking some of these Jack and Coke things.
Oh, nice.
I've also got a water and some shine.
I don't believe in water. Vaughn, what are you sipping on, brother?
I've been kind of sick this week, so I'm on mug root beer right now.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
A little shot of 120 will help clear you right up, brother.
Yeah.
You know, they say that, and every time I do it, I'm like, this is a great idea. The very next morning, I'm like, I think I took 10 steps backwards.
You're getting that honey to it.
Oh, man, I know. So, Vaughn, again, I'm glad you're here, man. And we just kind of want to open up this for you to tell everybody who you are, you know, what you've been on the show before. You know how we roll, man. Who is Vaughn Davis and what you're doing now? Can you give us a rundown?
Well, I'll give it a good shot, right?
Yeah,
we are in the middle of just rolling through tons of mushroom and butterfly popcorn at the moment. I think we've shipped 45 tons so far in the last couple of months. So rolling pretty hot and heavy on that. Probably going to be cleaning up some Bloody Butcher here in the next month and getting a truckload of corn and rye out as well, probably sometime in April. So on the distillation side, that'll probably be around into March through April, back on that. At the moment, like I said, just tons and tons of popcorn. I never thought I'd see that much, but here we are, and we plan on growing even more next year. So for everybody out there that's into the kettle corn market, you guys and gals that do the thing on the weekends, special events, festivals, all that, We're currently supplying mushroom popcorn for that at anywhere between half to a third off of what you're currently paying. I know that. So hit us up. We'll help you out.
When you're talking about the festivals you're going to, what are some of those?
Well, I'm just talking about the people that do go to the festivals that have the food trucks and that sort of thing. We've been supplying a lot of those people around Ohio, and we're up to 16 other states now as well. So Ohio being kind of in the middle of it, but as far away as Idaho, north is Minnesota, south is Arkansas, east into northern New Hampshire. So that business is going really well. Just want to keep that going. We'll expand that next year as well.
That's awesome. And when you go over to the distillation side, that's something that's, I know in our world, we hear Vaughn Davis's name quite a bit. How is that going and how is that growing and what can you expect here in the future?
Honestly, what I'm kind of experiencing right now in the commercial distillery world is, I would say it's a little bit of a slowdown. That's my take on it right now into early 25. I don't think that the Ohio distribution system works all that well for small producers. I think it favors large, mainly out of state producers in terms of the distribution model that exists in Ohio. And I think that's detrimental to, small scale guys. I know I've talked to Fred up at Lake Erie and many other places as well. And that the Ohio, from a state side, doesn't seem to be helping those guys out at all, which is a shame because they've got a lot of good products out there. And it would be nice if, Ohio would actually distribute their products in more than five places. So I think that's a concern. We've had the distillery, our largest customers, had some neighborhood issues, and they're getting through those. They're still hoping to expand by a factor of 2. They'd hoped to do that a long time ago, but we're still kind of waiting on that. So I think the future's bright. We're certainly going to continue to support that marketplace, do what we can. But I think at the moment there are some trying times for a lot of these guys that are out there.
Yeah, I think some of the biggest things too are most of the time when I run or I make liquor, I've made it with like your same product versus somebody else's product, and it's kind of crazy. Phil and I were just talking about the one day when we did the Ohio Blue. We did it exactly the same and actually got different flavors. And I think quality and the way, I don't know if it's just the way it's grown. And you could probably get more into that, but you put Ohio Blue corn versus a 50-pound Ohio Blue corn, you do it all the same and it still comes out a little different. Flavor wise, I don't know if that's is it from the way you're growing it or the way you're, bagging it or the cleaning it? I didn't know if you could kind of explain that.
I can tell you what, how we clean and all that, which is fairly extensive. So we do a primary clean, which gets rid of a lot of the plant trash, as you will. We now floated across a gravity table as well. So you're getting rid of all the low quality seed that's going out as well. So you're left with sort of whole, for the whole seeds, if you will. So whole kernels, I guess you could call it that. So before we mill, we've gotten rid of all the junk before we even go into the milling process. We also have a color sorter, so we can sort out by color as well. So if it's not Ohio Blue, but it happens to be the same size, same gravity, we can kick that out too. So if you get Ohio Blue from us or any other, it's about as pure and as whole seed as we can make it before it gets to you.
It truly is. Philip Lowe just said they also don't prevent anyone from starting distillery over regulating to make it impossible. Yeah, I think where John Bentz is in the middle of that right now. I mean, it is pretty incredible, Vaughn, how difficult the state makes something that's going to actually make money, right? It's going to make them money. They own all the bottles that are being produced anyways at the distillery. It's kind of mind blowing.
Yeah, no, that's correct. We've been looking into starting a distillery, but I can at the present time it certainly won't be in Ohio. We're
I don't blame
probably looking at something like Decatur, Indiana. I think it's almost easier to distribute it in Ohio if you're not making it here. So,
Yeah.
and the state tax rate in Indiana is about 6 times less.
What about New Hampshire?
I'd prefer to do it somewhere around where the farm is down here, just because of the whole farm to bottle and kind of our name and like that. I would just rather keep it fairly local. So
Yeah, absolutely.
sorry.
You're good.
Turn that ringer off.
You're
So we partnered with I'm a chemical engineer by training. So I worked with a couple of design groups at the Colorado School of Mines this past semester. And we've designed a couple different distillery options. One is a vacuum distillation unit, which I'm pretty excited about. In terms of flavors, in terms of bourbon, by doing a vacuum distillation, you can keep a lot of the low volatiles in that. And I think the final product's going to be that much better. So pretty excited about that. And hopefully we can pull that off in the next couple of years.
So that's something that that's not out now that you guys are working on?
It's on paper right now. We've gotten through the design phase, but now we're looking at where can you actually put this in? What makes sense? How much money we're going to need?
So can you break that down a little bit? So this vacuum, how does that what is that? Is it going to speed up the process, or
it'll allow you to? It will it speed it up? It will probably not speed up the process. No. But it will allow you to keep a lot of the more volatile components. So from a taste perspective, it should be a lot more complex, especially on bourbon. For vodka, so for the federal government phase, it has to be at least 95% ABV at some point in the process so that you can eventually call it vodka. And by lowering the pressure inside the distillation column under vacuum, you'll actually be able to reach that at a lot less energy input usage into the process. So we can lower our energy usage, still get the same ABV. And then beyond that, when you're going in the first phase, so what you're making for bourbon, I think a lot of the tastier components, a lot more complexity can be had when you do that.
Yeah, that sounds pretty crazy. I mean, it seems like you have the brain that I do not have. So that's pretty cool. I would never be able to. I don't think I can. I mean, I know you agree with.
Yeah, no, I
did spend a whole career as a chemical engineer. I got a fair amount of experience in distillation. So,
I clean the engineers' offices. That's about as far as I get.
That's pretty close.
Now, so what do you have? Any desire? I know you just said something about possibly opening up that distillery. Was your desire when you started farming? Was that in the back of your brain then, and so you wanted to learn that aspect before you got into distillation, or is there a history in your family? Like, I guess I'm trying to see what made you want to possibly go in that route.
Yeah, so for my family history, no, that certainly wouldn't have come into play. And I respect their decision greatly. My parents do not drink, so that they're probably healthier for it. I do have an interest in vodka. I've always been fascinated by it. Don't ask me why. I don't know. It's just kind of a thing. And it's an industry that's been around for literally thousands of years. People have been doing this. And I like the craft aspect of the whole thing. I think that's kind of neat. All the different grains you can use, potatoes, almost anything that has starch, carbohydrates. I just think it's one of the most fascinating industries that you could be in, and it's very historical. I'm a student of history. I love history. And so from that aspect, and I have this ag background too. So all those things kind of come together in keep vertically integrating what we do. So from growing and to malting to distilling and then the final product that's in a bottle, I think kind of be pretty cool.
Oh, absolutely. I think you talk about vodka. Phil's wife's a big vodka drinker. My brother's a big vodka drinker. I didn't used to be. And then I kind of started becoming a hobbyist when it comes to making some liquor. I'm nowhere close to like moonshiner at all, but there's a lot of guys watching right now. Like Philip Lowe's got a lot more experience than I do, and this is probably a silly question, but isn't vodka technically the cleanest spirit? I believe.
Yeah, it's supposed to be tasteless and odorless.
Yeah,
right. Theoretically, they should all be the same, but they're not. So yeah, that's true. And at some point in the process, to be legally called vodka, at some point you have to get above 95% ABV, which it's not technically difficult. You just have to have the right equipment to be able to pull that off.
Right.
And then I think a lot of the issue with vodka comes down to the water source, right? Because you do have to blend it back down. So you go from 95% ABV, then you're down somewhere near 40 by the end of your time. So that water supply, I think, is key. Right here, we sit on top of the Taze River Valley Aquifer System, which is pre-Ice Age. Is kind of think of it as like the old Ohio River Valley, since filled in. But there's a lot of clean water down there. It also underlays Decatur over here to our west as well. So I think accessing that aquifer could be a marketing kind of thing, right? Because a lot of the, is there anything special about Tito's? No, but they did a great job of marketing and they were successful. So Grey Goose, high priced, made from wheat and water, great marketing, right? So a lot of the budget really needs to go towards the marketing side of this. It has to be technically good, but it also needs to be well marketed. And I think that's where the dilemma comes in, and how much money and how long, what's your ramp, what's your on ramp, how are you going to market it, how are you going to sell it, where. I think those things are more important than necessarily actually making it.
Yeah, it's interesting because how many times, like the market aspect is interesting because how many bottles, Phil, I think you just did it the other day. Was it an $80 bottle you bought and you brought it over and we tried it? It looked cool. The story was cool on the back of the bottle. I think the distillery was actually interesting. It was what, $80 bottle? We tried it.
It was
Vaughn. It was ass. It was so bad.
horrible.
But how many people are buying that? It seemed like there was a lot of people out there buying it, but it wasn't because of what was in the bottle. It's just the marketing was so good. You couldn't resist buying it.
A lot of that's the marketing and the price point. People perceive a higher price is going to be higher quality. If it's got a great story to go along with it, then there you go.
That's right. I mean, you look at Burnout Winery, for example, you think of a $70 good bottle of wine's really not that expensive, right? Theirs is $20. So you assume the higher the price of a wine bottle, the better it's going to be. But you know how many bad bottles of wine that I've had for $40-$50? Theirs is $20 and it's super delicious. So it's like,
it's way better than the expensive stuff.
You can't, here in the studio, I know, well, I can't say for all of us, but Doug and I's one of our favorite bottles of whiskey is made by Heaven Hill Distillery. It's called, Quality House. It's in a plastic bottle. It's got a twist top. You look like a drunk walking out of the liquor store with it.
For $23.
$23 for a big old gallon of it. But if you look at it and you look at the mash bill and you look at how they do it, it's aged at least 36 months, it says.
Yep.
But it's a good quality house bourbon. I mean, it's really, really good. But everyone looks at it. It's not marketed well. But now you can't find it.
Yeah, that's a funny thing. You can't find it anywhere now.
Now they're selling for a little bit more expensive if you can find it. And everyone's like, man, where is that? That was so good. But it wasn't like, like a Buffalo Trace product. You know what I'm saying? Where people were outrageously paying a crazy price for that bottle. Because
waiting outside state stores at 3 a.m.
Dude, Doug and I were going to Kroger's and finding that shit. Like it was, but it was a low budget whiskey and it was really good.
Yeah. It is.
So I like that.
I've had the Burnt House, the Pinot Grigio. That's a really good bottle of wine.
Yep. You talk about from Burnout.
Yeah.
We were just drinking that.
Yeah.
Now what was the bottle I just I ain't so proud of this, but I did accidentally drank a whole bottle of wine the other night. It was it's called what was? Oh my God, we threw it away.
I just want to know how you accidentally drink a whole bottle.
Well, here's the boss. I'm going to tell you right now.
So smooth.
No, I thought it was a half a bottle, and then I grabbed the wrong bottle. I figured it'd be gone. I just kept pouring. I wasn't checking the bottle. Okay, it was like Vintant or something like that. I don't know. Chris is in here. It was the bottle I just bought on Saturday. It was really, really good. Let's see what Gordon said. You have.
Hey, Chris, by the way, you're supposed to text me or something. I need to get that bottle of Pinot Grigio again before you're out.
I think what is that bottle right there? If he doesn't have any more right now, I think we do.
Chardonnay.
They're Chardonnay. Vintner. What kind of wine was that, Fred? I'm telling you, do you like dry wine then, right? Vaughn?
Yeah.
You're a dry wine guy. This Vintner, what Fred just put in there, did you have it?
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite ones. Absolutely incredible. It's like a really dark red, and it's just absolutely amazing. And it makes me want more. That's how you see. I don't know how you say that. Vaughn, you're up. Vaughn, you pronounce that.
Fred's talking wine.
Somebody click that comment.
I'm not sure how to
so
pronounce
it pulls
that.
up. So I think he. Click it. Sangiovese. Sangiovese.
I'm sure there's a better
Sangiovese.
pronunciation.
It doesn't. Here's the thing. I don't care how you pronounce it. It's fucking delicious. It's really, really good. But you know, my point is they market it well. It's affordable, and put both of those together, you're gonna. They can't even keep up with the sales. So
yeah,
Sangiovese.
Sangiovese.
Okay.
I'm so stupid. I didn't even know he was breaking down the word for me.
After a couple glasses, you ain't.
Yeah.
A couple glasses, you won't be able to pronounce it anyway.
Sangiovese.
No, I really love when we first started drinking their wine. The labels on the back get me.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think Vaughn, you hit it on the spot. Like it's that marketing, and if you have that water source where you can say, did you say pre-ice age?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that you put that on a letterhead or on a poster in your distillery. I think that right there's you're using that water that's from that. That's incredible.
Yeah, a great story behind any bottle's gonna.
Oh yeah,
make
absolutely.
it that much better.
I'm really excited. Hopefully you can get this distillery up, man. That would be super. I know it's a pain in the ass. We're seeing it right now.
I just now brought up my phone where I can see some of the people's comments. It's Christopher said, did you come up with your own corn variety? I think that's to me, right?
Yes, it absolutely is.
We what we've done is we've mixed and matched a few things. So we crossed white with Ohio blue, and then crossed that again with Bloody Butcher to get sort of a purple corn. So just kind of playing that out just to see how that's going to work. But yeah, that's the only one we've done is that one. So we took red, blue, and white and made it kind of purple.
So when somebody's mashing that in, what does that color look like at the end when they're ready to run it, when it's done fermenting?
I don't know yet. I don't know of anybody that's tried it yet because I haven't given it to anybody yet. I know that the blue turns out pink actually when you're doing it.
I've got to bring you something anyway. I got this package sitting over here that we put together for you. So maybe we can come down, buy a bag, and drop this package off for you.
What's up, Daniel?
I think that'll work.
What's up, Wes?
Wes, I love you too, buddy. So what is your favorite part? So you look on your website, actually this would be a good time to do the commercial, wouldn't it?
Vaughn Davis. Our new website's actually up and running now.
Okay, so if you need that commercial to put on there, you can. Go ahead. Discover the taste of freshness at SchoolHouse Farms. Join Vaughn Davis and Beth Cole, passionate bird watchers and friends from York County, Maine, as they transform their love for nature into a thriving business. Since 2016, they have been dedicated to growing and distributing premium sunflower kernels, oils, gourmet popcorn, and heirloom grain products like corn, flour, and grits. What do they offer? Birdseed suppliers, high quality black oil sunflower seeds for local markets, food retailers, a selection of sunflower oils, roasted kernels, gourmet popcorn, and heirloom cornmeal. Online shoppers enjoy gourmet popcorn and confection sunflower kernels from the comfort of your home. Floral markets, stunning sunflowers for Ohio-based florists. Distillers, specialty grains for brewing and distillation. Popcorn vendors, are you a kettle corn vendor? Talk to Vaughn or Beth about supplying your business with the lowest cost, high quality mushroom popcorn in the industry. Taste the difference. Customers can shop for delicious sunflower kernels, popcorn, flavored oils, and heirloom cornmeal and grits directly on their website or at selected retail stores and farmers markets across Ohio, Indiana, Maine, and New Hampshire. Their name pays tribute to the historic Freysinger School, built in 1862 on Davis Farms property. This one-room schoolhouse has a rich history, having served the community until 1939. Are you ready to connect? If there's an exciting opportunity to discuss, they would love to hear from you. Follow SchoolHouse Farms on Facebook today and become part of the community. This is Big Sturge with American Whiskey. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Yep, we're back. Vaughn Davis is commercial for you folks. Can you highlight the question Gordon just put on there? Pretty please. There it is. Does it's Vaughn, not Va, Gordon, grow 6-row malted barley or just the 2-row? That's
2-row.
That 2-row. Okay, 2-row.
Two?
It's 2-row.
Yep.
Okay, so we do 2-row. Why, Gordon? You want something? He's got a beautiful new website that you can order it on.
It's true.
Right now. So, what does the new website have to offer that the old one didn't?
It has a lot more history of why we're here, how we got here. A lot delves into each market that we're in: lavender, sunflowers, distillation grains, heirloom corn, and popcorn. A lot more information on each one of those. A little bit of history that I wrote up on every one of those. How we, not just us, but history of distillation, history of heirloom corn, history of lavender, all the ways you can use it. Store's been totally revamped. The new logo is on there, new photography. It's very good. It's really good. And you can order anything on there. So for, at-home distillers, you can order anything from us in a 48-pound bag, and we'll just ship it to you directly from here. So that's another thing we offer now that we didn't before. So
I just got somebody just text me. Of course, why don't they put the question on this? But what is an heirloom corn?
An heirloom corn. That's a good question. So an heirloom corn is a lot of times they're called heritage corns, land race corn. So they're open pollinated, so they can be pollinated by any other corn. So it's helpful to keep them segregated from any other corn when you're growing them. And you can plant the seed from the 2025 crop. You can use that seed to plant for 2026, and you will get the same thing over and over and over again as the years go by.
Yeah.
So that's the advantage. So modern hybrid corn didn't really come along until 60s, 70s really became popular. And over time, in terms of hybrid corn development, the nutritional aspect of corn has sort of disappeared. It's pretty much all starch now, which is great if you're trying to run a industrial ethanol facility or you have a commercial chicken operation. But even then, so the nutrition that used to be in corn isn't anymore. So they take modern hybrid corn and then they add all that other stuff back to it before it feeds your chickens. So it just seems to defeating the whole purpose of why we ever got into this in the first place. So due to my love of history, and when the school was built in 1862 and it was operated until 1939, we were looking for corn varieties that would have been grown in Ohio in this particular area back during that time frame, and sort of bringing them back and then growing that. So the varieties that we primarily grow are Silver King, Ohio Blue, and Bloody Butcher. We have done others, but those are the primary ones that we do on a annual basis. And I just think it's kind of cool to grow something that's been around for, 100+ years, if not more, just to kind of preserve that. I know there's lots of other people that do the same exact thing, and I applaud all of them for doing so. It's just, we've sent it off to a lab many times. Bloody Butcher and Ohio Blue actually has real nutritional value in it, has a higher fat content, it has a higher protein content versus new modern hybrid corn, which is basically there to feed ethanol facilities and animals and then you have to add all that other stuff back in it was there, but now it's not.
Yeah,
so
right. So when you look into the history of that town, where exactly are you?
Yeah, we're just east of Rockford, Ohio here.
Okay, so like that area there, do you know if there was any legal distilleries around that area then?
No, I don't know. I actually haven't looked into that. I don't know. Obviously, Prohibition came into in the early 20th century. Sorry, and there's many stories of people that had distilleries and breweries in their shed, their basement, and all that. That's pretty well known. As far as legal distilleries coming on board after that, no, I don't know of any in this particular area. That doesn't mean there weren't. I just don't know where they were. There's certainly none right now.
Yeah, what was that called? What did they call that back in the day when they had like undercover bars?
Like speakeasy?
Speakeasy.
Yeah, speakeasies.
Yep.
It's actually a place here in town, Springfield, called Speakeasy.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. It reminds me of
there's actually one in there's a speakeasy in Salina that's got, I think, probably the best bourbon selection that you'll find within 200 miles of this area.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. You would be impressed. So when you come in June, you're gonna have to go down there.
I was just about to say, show us the way.
Yes, that's the other thing I wanted to talk about was so you just brought that up. Let's talk about what's going on in June.
Yep. So we got approached by a electrical co-op that supplies this particular area. They wanted to have an event for their members, and they wanted to know if they could have it here. So we ended up rolling that whole thing into a earlier festival than we would normally do. So on June 20th, which is a Friday, 21st and 22nd, we were doing a Lavender and Sunflower Festival, our annual one. It's going to be earlier. We'll be open every day, 10 to 6, except Saturday will be 9 to 6. Midwest Electric is having their event 9 to noon on Saturday. We're having a lobster food truck come here. We're having a kettle corn guy come here that uses our kettle corn. We're having a coffee truck. We're having the local brewery will be out. We'll have all of our stuff. I think it's going to be a fantastic day. Hopefully it doesn't rain and it's going to be awesome. Yeah,
American Whiskey will be set up over there. We're excited about it. It's going to be a great time. And if you guys haven't been out to the farm, it's something, it's breathtaking. We were I wasn't prepared. I know Dylan and I talked about it on the way back. We were just pretty blown away. Like, it is in the middle of literally nowhere.
It is.
There's no houses around. Like, when we're driving to it, I'm like, man, I've never met this guy. I don't know what he's got planned here. Maybe he's gonna shove me in the back of it in a trunk. I don't know. You guys know about me and trunks. I was like thinking about that the whole time. Then I met him. I was like, he can't get me in the trunk.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. So, we're doing we'll have the lavender will be blooming. We're going to be distilling lavender essential oil during that time frame. You can buy a bunch of lavender products. We have essential oil. We have hydrosols. We got sugar scrubs, candles, honey.
Now, is that all made there? So do you make your essential oils there?
Yeah, the essential oil we actually make here. Yeah. Yep.
Wow, that's wild. So
we use a stainless steel. We use a stainless steel setup for that, just so we don't want to transfer any taste.
Yeah. So it's essentially a still, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I've never seen essential oils made, but I know my wife uses the crap out of them. I know her new supplier.
Bring her along, and we'll demonstrate how we actually do all that.
I think we'll probably all be there. I would imagine. You never know,
yeah.
Doug, but he might be there.
That's my Tennessee week.
I knew it. Doug's got plans. He already knew it.
I'll be at a summer camp
We
in
got
Tennessee.
Sweating your balls off.
Yeah.
Advance.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, my favorite thing that I call it the slip and dip oil, but the sunflower oil that Vaughn has is my favorite sunflower oil, to be completely honest with you. It's incredible. Now I have a question. So it's not my question. This question was given to me by somebody that's into birds. And you can go to a bird or like a TSC and you can buy certain bird seed, right?
Like
or for certain birds. Do you know much about the bird seed side of things, or the certain, like, do you make certain feeds for certain birds, I guess is the question that they want to know?
Yeah. So that's how Beth and I started this business, was on bird seed. We both like to watch birds. And so we started with just black oil sunflower. She asked me, hey, can you grow sunflowers? And I was overconfident. And I said, oh, yeah, absolutely. I can grow sunflowers. Anybody can do that. So the first year was kind of a failure. We sold out in about 2 minutes because we had about 2 pounds. But it's grown from there. We've gone from that rather inauspicious start. I think we actually got 2,000 pounds. So it was more than 2 pounds. But anyway.
So it only lasted 14 minutes.
Yeah, 14 minutes. I was using my great-grandfather's grain cleaner to clean all this. So I had to machine up some new parts for it. So I went to a machine shop and we built some aluminum stuff to go on this old wooden cleaner motor instead of hand cranking it now. So keep in mind that thing was built in 1920, in the 1920s. And ultimately, the bird seed and the distillation grains really outgrew that rather rapidly. So I bought a brand new cleaner. Believe it or not, built by the same company. The screens that fit in my great-grandfather's cleaner fit in the new one. How about that?
Yeah, that's wild.
So we've expanded from so black oil sunflowers are generally eaten by almost any bird that you can find. Maybe not ducks, or eagles, stuff like that.
And my squirrels.
Your backyard birds, yes, your squirrels indeed will eat that too. Then there's things that you can make like cardinal blend. So that's a blend of safflower, black oil, white striped sunflowers. Then you can hull the white stripes and you get a kernel. And so that's the blend for cardinal blend. And then we do some with nuts and berries. And then we do some with cracked corn. We've got 3 major kinds that we sell other than black oil. So nut and berry, Berwick blend. That's where we started in Maine, was in Berwick, Maine. So we call it that. And then just regular black oil sunflowers. Now, because we started hulling the white striped sunflowers to get kernels for birds, that's where we got the idea, hey, we're just going to roast these. So now we've got 6 different kinds of roasted sunflower kernels.
Wow.
Cajun, Vermont maple, brown sugar cinnamon, ranch, Maine sea salt, and I think there's one other one I'm missing. But
you
anyway.
have a ranch bird seed?
Pardon?
You
No,
said
that's
you have
human consumption.
Oh,
That's
I was gonna say, damn, he spoils the shit out of his birds.
Yeah, we sell them in little 3-ounce packs. Each 3-ounce pack has about 18 grams protein in it, and they taste awesome. They're really, really good. No preservatives.
Baseball.
I know,
I
right?
eat it. So yeah,
we would have looked so cool in the dugout playing baseball. Like, where'd you get those seeds at? Well, Vaughn Davis at SchoolHouse Farms, of course.
There you go.
Right.
Not Speedway, baby.
Yeah.
So another question that I have, that we have is, do you sell like deer corn?
That's just regular old hybrid.
I don't know. It's just a question that was asked. But you know what? To be fair, people go to TSC. You can see the cracked corn or whatever over there for your cows and your pigs. But next to a mile over, they'll have a whole section of nothing but deer corn.
A whole section, 14 different options.
Right.
Yeah.
So, it's not, it's a question, but it is true. You can literally just put, I put out like spent grains that we've used, people will take that and put it out for deer. I mean,
Yeah. Chris, I see Chris put the site up there. I've been kind of going through the new SchoolHouse Farm site, and it's
anything catching your eye over there, boss?
It's all eye catching. I mean,
course
it
it
was
is.
amazing design, amazing job on the
I
site.
see what Vaughn's doing to us now.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
What's to say? What about making a sunflower alcohol?
Somebody's tried that down in Georgia. So one of the problems with using sunflowers is the extremely high fat content in it and low protein, low carbs. So your yield would be really bad, and it'd probably be really oily. I think it's a bad idea, but there is somebody in Georgia that supposedly was making some sort of sunflower bourbon. I don't know what their mash bill was, but you wouldn't want to use much sunflower because it's chock full of oil. There's nothing you can grow in the world that makes more oil per acre than sunflowers. So
it's crazy to think of. That's why they have sunflower oil.
Well, yeah,
makes sense.
Exactly.
So I do have a question. I've not used your Bloody Butcher, but I did use a Bloody Butcher, and that really came out oily as heck.
Yeah.
Is that a typically an oily corn?
Heirloom corns in general have more fat content than, say, a modern hybrid. I'd have to go back and look at my data on that for you to see what it came back as. But heirloom corn does tend to have more fat content, which fat is oil in this case, or corn.
I've
oil.
used different types of heirlooms, but this one was just, I mean, Phil, it was pretty oily, and it was. I was kind of blown away by it. I know John Bent said it. He said the same thing. It's definitely got more than some of the like my Ohio Blue, for example. It was actually kind of wild.
I think Ohio Blue makes the best mash and best distillate coming off of still.
Oh, we could not. Everyone's like, what else do you add to it? What do you put in your thumper? Nothing. Like, what do you? I don't flavor it. I don't do any of it. I got a little package for you, and it's got a little something in there for you. That's Ohio Blue. I think you'll like. It is hands down. It's so good that Peanut up over here. How many bushels did you get out of your Ohio Blue? Just because he wanted to fart around with it.
I got 6 bushel.
Yeah. What is that?
So this is our customer, Seven Brothers up in Ashtabula County, Ohio. This is a Ohio Blue bourbon whiskey. This stuff's fantastic.
We're gonna get some of that somehow.
Definitely.
This is batch number 1. I may never open it.
Oh, we're gonna get some. I'm assuming he's selling it, right?
And I'm only assuming that is your product.
What it came from, it started on our farm. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I figured.
What legal distilleries do you sell to in Ohio?
Seven Brothers up in Ashtabula County, and then Chris down in Bainbridge.
Okay.
Great guy down there. He makes some really great products.
We've been there.
I really like the one that's the red, white, blue corn.
Yep. I know you said Fred over at Lake Erie Distillery. Have you sold corn to him before?
We have not. We certainly hope to in the future. He certainly had some issues in 24 for sure. So,
oh man, I know.
We certainly would love to work with Fred. He's a really good guy. I've spent many hours talking to him. He's really, really cool. He's got a nice facility up there too.
This is, I don't know if you've had it. If not, we've got a couple bottles. I'll bring you one when we come up there. It's the Lake Erie's Ghost Whiskey, made from corn and other grains. But he didn't put on the bottle. I wish Dylan was here because he'll tell you everything about this. So he actually uses a wok and cooks up some of these grains that he puts in it, and it's incredible. I'm gonna bring you a bottle of this. We got a couple of them sitting around. It's just a clear whiskey. It's completely unaged, but it's absolutely incredible. And I feel like an idiot even bringing it up because I can't tell you exactly. Like I said, Dylan is my mastermind when it comes to remembering those things. I've done too many things in my life to remember a lot. So, but man, it's incredible. You guys have had it.
We've had it. Dylan goes. That's his go-to.
It's his go-to. It's Dylan's favorite. It's actually in my decanter right here. But they do a lot of great stuff up there. And when you do business with them, you don't even have to do business with them to even know they're awesome people. I mean, Fred's just such a great guy.
Really is. Yeah. I like talking to Fred. I visited with him up there and just had a good time. And we talked a lot about Ohio and Ohio problems in terms of distribution. So
Yeah. I mean, he's a great guy, and that's why he's on the table up here. And we probably don't have a big enough table to put, all the different. But he made the table. All right, he made the table. But so Gordon Shinerman here says, any thoughts on starting growing fruit or making a vineyard? Hey, listen, Vaughn, you're doing it all already, so don't giggle.
No. No, the answer is that's not on my radar, actually. No. So,
well, poo. We just figured you're
He's
doing
got
it all.
enough stuff. I think he's got a full plate already.
That sounds like it. What was the Chris asked one of? Oh yeah, he will also put a lift in your truck. Is there anything that you don't do, Vaughn?
there's very little I won't try. So,
I love it. My favorite comments of his are his taco comments. We'll just be randomly going somewhere like something like, hey, want a taco? I don't know why. I think him and Uncle Joey started that, but something about tacos, man. He's a big taco guy.
I think, Joey and was Sherry's his wife's name, right? Yeah, they're always out getting tacos, and so I've started just mentioning it everywhere they go now.
We've got the best taco place. I think it was voted in Ohio, actually.
And I do love tacos, by the way. It is true. I do like tacos.
No, I'm down over 150 pounds because I don't eat tacos now. I don't eat carbohydrates. That's why he keeps talking about all the carbs. I'm like, I know I'm not supposed to have carbs, but the one carb I don't give up, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, we are American whiskey. I'm not giving up the whiskey, so, but yeah, right. Whatever. I feel better. I'll be able to ride around on the tractor with Vaughn now and take videos. He was always like, you're fine. I'm like, dude, I'm over 500 pounds. I'm not ready. I don't want to do that. But now I feel comfortable too. I'm like, all right, I'll do it.
Since you're talking about technical projects, so my son is a kind of a computer genius, and he's in a PhD program now. So we've been working on a new planter that doesn't look anything like a current planter. So it uses mining techniques. Most GPS systems, if you buy them, through John Deere or whatever, they're quite expensive, and the annual fee for being accurate is quite high. So we built a really accurate GPS system for about $299, and then it's on tracks. And so what it does is it goes a pre-distant measure, drills a hole, drops a seed, another so you can make it as wide as you wanted, right?
Yeah.
So we're continuing to work on that. So I think at some point in the future, you're going to see some equipment that we make here.
That's crazy. So you're going to take this farm and possibly start putting out merch that you can or product, or what would be the farm?
Yeah, like ag equipment. It'll all be robot based. So there'd be no human involvement other than loading it up, and then it basically come and fill itself, and you just sit back in your easy chair, have a bourbon, and watch it plant.
Yeah, you can no longer say like, honey, I got to go work on the tractor.
I mean,
go out there and drink it.
Right.
Robotic tractors and that out there now. Heck, you won't have to do nothing. Throw a little bit of seed in.
Damn it, Vaughn Davis is trying to take all of our excuses away from us.
I know.
I'm not willing to do that. Like, it's always like, my wife's always like, where are you going? I got to go downstairs. I'm working on the podcast. Next thing you know, there's going to be already an automated podcast, something that does it itself.
No, I think there's something to be said for the human interaction on a podcast. I kind of like it, and I'm thankful that you guys are there.
I appreciate it, man. We're kind of we've grown over the last year a lot, and it's been a great journey for us, and a lot of different changes, but it's pretty much a shit show, but we enjoy it. It's fun. It's something to do a couple times a week. And
so for me, I went to work from home when COVID hit, so it's nice to get on here, interact, at least be in person with you guys, but still get to interact with the people that put their
when
face
you
on
show
here
up, brother.
and join, listen, and also have the interaction through the comments as well. So, what's up, Hydro? So Vaughn, Chris was asking, do you sell any sweet corn for eating?
I don't. No. Well, I've grown sweet corn for me to eat. That's assuming that I beat the raccoons to it, which is rare.
It is.
But I used to grow about 8 rows over here on the east side of the barn, and I do grow sweet corn from time to time, and it's pretty good, and I get about 10% of it, and the raccoons get the rest.
He needs you know what that means? You know what he's saying? Even though I
He needs a trapper.
No, you don't trap raccoons. You peel them, dude. You pop their wigs back. Oh, great. We're going to get kicked off now because
good job, Sturge.
The animal control. We've gotten in trouble because
we got
I've
a great interview going here.
I know.
And a great conversation. Now you're gets kicked off.
We don't kill raccoons, but if you need anybody to take care of them, the boys at American Whiskey will help with that.
Yes.
So once every 2 months. What is it? So Dylan's on here.
So we'll be starting planting here in April, which isn't all that long away. So if you guys want to come up and ride, I got an extra seat in that tractor. So,
and you've got a CDL driver with Phil and me. So if you need somebody to bang some gears, we're your guys. Or if you just need somebody to
loaf bags around, or your guys too.
I'm also your man. I just want to get some sweet footage with the drone. So we got a drone, and I want to take it down and watch him cut. Follow along. I think that'd be really cool, Vaughn.
I would like to see. I'm really interested in going up there and seeing his, his cleaning equipment.
Well,
the way he cleans corn.
We can go up anytime. I mean, we can go up there. We got that package to drop off, and I'm excited to go up there. We want to get this bag of new corn that he said he's doing, so we need to just make this happen. It sounds like relatively soon because we need some corn anyway. Right?
It sounds like he's planning for us to come up and go to work.
Well, we're working
free labor.
Now that I'm down some weight, I'll work. I can, instead of wobbling around, I walk around. I think I can work now. So I'm down to
never turn down free labor ever.
That's it. I mean, we might only be good for one day. We probably won't be able to move the second day, but we'll give it a whirl.
I can barely move right now. So I knocked myself out yesterday loading popcorn into some guy's trailer. Walked into the top of the door and fell on the ground. It was not good.
Shoot.
No.
I'll tell you right now, when I fall, I just fell snow blowing. Shut up. Snow blowing at work, and I slipped on some ice, and I fell in snow. He was there. Yeah. I fell. There was where I work. It's an apartment complex. An older lady. She's like 98, or no? How old is she? 101. Yeah. 101, and she's out there with an electric shovel, trying to shovel her. I was like, no, stop. I said, I'll come help you. So I start to go over there, and I just let loose, fall in the padded snow, and I'm like, oh, I'm fine. I woke up 2 days later, just completely screwed. Oh my god, dude.
I'm gonna go back to your blow dryer idea with the extension cord. I have concerns about that. Just
the snow blower wouldn't work. I took the wife's snow air blower in there. And then it got wet, and I electrocuted myself. But whatever.
You need one of those NASCAR things with the jet engine and all that stuff. That's what you need.
I've done it with a leaf backpack blower, but never a hair dryer.
You know what I did do one time on the driveways? Took our big flaming torch and melted the ice, and I was like, "This is badass." Until the next day, Steph's like, "Why is the fucking concrete black?" I was like, "Oh shit." Didn't think about that.
Dylan did it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Vaughn,
I'm sure we're all in the same boat here.
What are you pointing at? I seen you.
It looked like Hydro had a question.
Go ahead.
Let me. There you go. Thank you. So I think he's talking about up home. He cuts hay, and maybe you can decipher this a little better than I can with what he's referring to, because I don't know it.
He says, "I'm planting 10 acres Indian corn."
Yes, Indian bloody Jimmy Red sounds. So. What are expectations per acre?
Yep.
And
all right, so
per acre fertilizer.
Yeah. So hey, Hydro Man, how you doing? I would plant about 22,000 plants per acre. Expect to get 19 to 20. Usually use about 90 to 110 pounds of nitrogen per acre, depending on your soil test. In terms of yield, a lot of it gets down to when you plant and rain and timely events like that. But I would say you could expect somewhere between 50 and 90 bushels per acre of that corn. I think that's the answer to all your questions there.
Well, I'm sure glad he's here.
I know.
I wasn't answering that. Honestly, I couldn't even decipher what he was at. I'm like, shit. I don't know.
So
I've got the other thing that's on 30-inch rows.
Pretty interesting.
Yep. Yeah, I've got a buddy who's an engineer, and he talks in acrylics and asterisks to me.
Well,
and,
Vaughn, these guys are scientists.
well,
We're not.
right. And
Well,
there's things that I can pick up on, but there's also things that he can decipher that
Yeah.
I'm just so far off on. And
Yeah.
I'm glad you were here
I
to
got,
answer
I
that
got
question.
a question.
Go for it.
Florida planted early.
Okay. So I grew this corn in my lot last year. It's only like a 50 by 100 little plot. I'm going to plant corn in that again. What is the best fertilizer to put down to re-nutrient besides, I mean, of course I need probably nitrogen, but what would be best to replant corn in the same
You
spot?
planted corn there last year?
Yeah.
Did you drop any seeds that you're aware of? Or did
No.
you pick it?
I
Okay.
hand-picked everything.
Okay. That's a good start. 5,000 square feet is about 15% of acres. So you're talking about 15, 20 pounds of nitrogen max on that whole area.
Okay.
So if you were to buy a fertilizer at the store, kind of like 4500, so it's all nitrogen at that point. You'd have to put on because nitrogen's only about 47% of the pound, so you'd have to, if you had a 40-pound bag and put it all on there, you'd have enough.
Okay.
So I'm assuming the reason my garden didn't flourish last year is because I didn't do it right.
Well,
It was I
That's why
should use
usually
more
you
cow
take-
shit.
you rotate soybeans with
No,
corn.
dude, my
because
wife
the
and I-
beans add back into the ground.
No,
what
I
the corn
get it.
uses
I
and
get what you guys
opposite.
are saying, but
I'm
we
trying
have
to
our.
use the same thing.
You see my gardens back there, my raised garden beds. There's a bunch there. I've had it for 5 years. I mean, she grows okra out the ass over there. We grow everything out of there. Last year, dude, was the worst year, dude. Absolute. Our peppers hardly grew. Okra grew about 2 inches out of the ground, and it just didn't fucking work, dude. I need to pack it up, and take it to Vaughn's.
He said, "Don't bring that shit here."
Listen, Vaughn.
He's like, I got enough on my
He's
plate.
like,
guys.
"I got a
Damn.
good thing going."
And of course, I talked to like all the old farmers around here, like, just put some cow shit in it. I'm like, listen, guy, all I got in the backyard's dog shit. Like,
Would that help?
probably would. I mean,
Probably
dog
would.
shit would work. I mean, I did start a compost post 3 years ago, so I do plan on using it. That should help, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I went to a local mulch place, like where you get the 68 on 6
Yeah.
or was it
Route
Route
4?
4? Yeah.
Yeah, Mad River.
And I went up there and they're like, you want the zoo patty or do you want regular? And I was like, what are you talking about? And they're like, well, they get shit from the zoos and they put it in their soil. And it's supposed to be really, really good soil, right? Every other year we just get the normal soil. And then I mix a little potting mix in it just to get some, I don't know. My father-in-law told me to do that. So it's work. Well, I go get the zoo shit because they talked me into it. It's got gorilla shit and all this stuff in it. You know, kangaroo shit, I guess. I don't know. I got the zoo patty, dude. I just got all the shit. Not a damn thing hardly grows, dude. I'm like, and I told my father-in-law, my dad, I'm like, I put the kangaroo shit. I put it all. There's all kinds of shit in there. I don't think I need any more of it. You know, I was completely.
How much did you put on?
Rest in peace, Harambe.
Listen, Vaughn. Okay, they told me just to get a truckload of the zoo shit. It was their topsoil. It was topsoil zoo shit, and I'm telling you, it did not work. Like literally, our okra. You know what okra is? How tall it gets. My wife loves okra. It didn't get taller than that, dude. It did not get taller than just that. So I have no idea. I don't know if there was too much of. Would that be nitrogen?
Yeah, you probably put too much on, and then your soil pH is way too low, and then nothing will grow.
So I got to dig it all out this year, probably. I'll just take a
Add
sample.
a bunch of lime.
Well, here's the deal. I'm just going to bring you some of the soil.
Okay.
You got so much zoo shit on there. They're gonna think we're trying to hide bodies with all the lime.
Vaughn's going to be like, all I'm seeing is fucking kangaroo shit in here, brother. I don't know. There's no dirt in here. And here's what the thing was. I'm like, it didn't even look right, to be honest with you. Like when we were putting it on, and my wife's like, are you sure we should have got this? This doesn't even look right. Like there's something wrong with it. The only thing that grew well in it, and I wish Stephanie was watching right now, nothing but fucking weeds. The years before this, we never had that problem. Not one time.
I got the same problem with my wife. She, of course, cleans out the chicken coop, throws it all in like basically one spot. And I think we got way too much nitrogen in that.
Oh, no
area.
doubt, dude.
I mean, the crop didn't grow for crap in that area, but the weeds.
Oh, yeah. I don't understand. Does that make sense to you at all, Vaughn, why that would happen?
Yeah, weeds just grow well whenever you never need them to. That's just a fact of life. But I've got a new marketing campaign for this vodka now because it's going to be grown 100% grown with kangaroo shit.
Yeah. Brought to you by American Whiskey. I'm telling you, you got to check it out. It's like zoo poo. It's called like zoo poo. It's literally at that place. You pass it every time you go home, dude. Yeah. They got zoo poo. They talked me into it the whole time. My wife's like, we don't need that shit.
Sturge.
Just get the cheap.
Literally.
That's their great advertising. They're calling it zoo poo, but it's actually the dried up waste from the city wastewater plant.
Great.
It's just Springfield.
So, whatever. You know what?
Yeah, Vaughn, Jason's got it right there. Add lime and rototill it in. I think that's a good idea.
Yep.
Well, I'll find some lime somewhere. Where do you get that, TSC?
Oh, we get lime.
I'll get some lime, baby.
Kangaroo vodka.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go get zoo poo no more.
Kangaroo vodka. It'll punch you.
Oh God, I love it. Well, Vaughn, we're hitting an hour here. I know you're a busy man. I don't want to keep you on all night long because you've watched our show. We can go all night, brother. So
I could. I'm not doing anything else right now, so
we're not doing anything. We're just hanging out. I just don't want you to feel like you got to stay on here. Anybody, Chris or Fred, if you want to hop on, have any questions, of course, you guys can get on. Davis, if you want to. Vaughn's chugging down this mug right now, and I'm thinking about, dude, this horse soldier. Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah. Sure, yeah,
fantastic.
What do you think?
I thought it was smooth.
I think it's great.
You don't remember that bottle, I don't think.
I do not. It was on your dresser. I knew that.
Yeah, remember when we took our trip down to deliver Christmas stuff, and you handed me that like $200 some bottle, and I grabbed it and like, you got to buy it now.
I do. We got to give him the back end. Okay, Vaughn. So we're pretty immature children. And Dylan and I made this game where if anywhere we're at, if we hand you and we say, hold this, you have to buy it. So if you're ever out and about with us, don't do it. What is that? Is that kangaroo? Jesus. I want that picture. Don't throw it away. It's zoo poo.
Kangaroo vodka by SchoolHouse Farms. Right there. It started
you
here.
You better do it, Vaughn. You better do it. So this guy, I handed him a $200 bottle, so that's where this came from. But this is actually really good.
Yeah.
I'm going to pour some more. I told him myself I was going to have
You let me out easy because I think that was like an $80 bottle. And
I think it's worth it. It's really good.
I'll be right back. Hang on.
All right. Send Fred and Chris the link. Let them get on.
Oh, I'm good. I still got this. I'm adding it into this.
Yeah, no, it's good.
It was. Fuck would you mix $80 bourbon?
Because it's Jackie Coke.
It is super smooth.
I would never mix this.
No.
But
no, the Jackie.
I would.
I
won't. But I would.
I'm not gonna. But I would.
Yeah.
Listen,
we're on the same page. I would, but I'm not.
I'm trying to flavor up the Jack and Coke can stuff. Right.
Ooh, what we got?
Oh shit.
Any of you guys like rye whiskey? This
love
is
rye.
pretty good.
I love rye. I think you should have a drink with it. Might help clear you up a little bit, boss. Listen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right off the bottom, my guy. Told you.
Watch out. Yeah. Jack Hanna's going to jump out of there. That zoo poo and kangaroo you got on your paper.
I love it. So I do see something similar to Vaughn and Peanut. Yeah. They both are always either Vaughn just likes to hold pens or he takes notes, but the two of you, like at the whole time that we podcast, Peanut takes notes.
I'm writing stuff down. It's like if I don't write it down, it don't sink in.
Yeah.
I mean, when ideas like this happen, you got to write them down.
You got to be ready. I mean, this is the perfect napkin idea.
It's like when we did the what was it? The stick and dip. Remember the slip and dip? I think it was like I forget what.
No, it's dip and stick.
Slip and stick. Thank you. It was like when we were really like rated R podcast when we were like really really bad. which only happens sometimes now. I think one night or something, I was making a joke, and I was like, Vaughn makes all kinds of oils, and then he sent a comment on it. He was like, technically, you could use this, and so we named it. I think Dylan or you.
It's a good slip slide.
Then somehow we called it dipping stick. So the wife's like, "What do you want on your salad?" I'm like, "The dipping stick."
Oh yeah,
that's just a good one. That's technically if you run out of it, you can use it. Technically, you can use it.
It all started back with how my brother-in-law and I, we were at Vanderbilt, and it started with how could I have prevented this pregnancy? And the very next thing was the Thompson's water seal ad came on. We thought, how could you prevent it? Dip and then stick.
If it worked that way, it'd be great.
Exactly.
I thought it worked, and then I ended up with 4 kids. I do love them though, honestly.
Dipping in the wrong thing.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's just whatever.
So
Wes, if you want to hop on, say hi to Vaughn, you can, buddy. We love you. You can get on here. Let us know if you can get.
So popcorn.
Sutton?
No, like actual popcorn.
Yep.
How hard is it, or do you have any idea would it be to get to like a distribution for, like, let's say like Scouts, like Boy Scouts, how they sell popcorn? How hard would it be to like climb that ladder? Or have you tried? Or
I'm not that vertically integrated yet to do that. So most of that's the flavored popcorn, right? That they sell it already popped.
Yeah. I mean, they do sell popping popcorn. Outside of that, yeah, everything else is flavored and whatnot.
What's the difference?
So where I fit in that whole thing now is I'm selling the popcorn to the people that pop it.
Yeah.
For those kind of people.
What's the difference?
Just he's further up in the process to when it gets to where it is popped flavored.
Oh, so you're saying the Boy Scouts it's already popped?
So they sell,
popped?
Yeah, he's selling to the poppers to pop it for the Boy Scouts.
You should have said that he's not doing the popping there. They sell the popping. That makes sense.
Once again,
okay.
Best corn all starts with Vaughn.
But so to that point, they do sell a popping popcorn. I just didn't know if it could even be a possibility to get in like a distribution like that, or how hard it would be, I guess, because I know they've gone back and forth between 2 different primary companies in the past few years, but I wasn't sure if it was like an opportunity that you could have potentially down.
Excuse me. Cold. It possible. So when my dad's been growing popcorn for years, and he sold it into the wholesale market, so you're not getting a whole lot of money for it.
Yeah.
When we started back in 2016, we started by growing, I think, 5 different kinds, and we were selling them in 1.5 pound bags. And that's a sure way not to make any money. So then a guy showed up, a short story here, but a guy showed up, said, "Hey, can you grow me some popcorn? I'll buy it all. It's mushroom popcorn. I need it for my kettle corn business." Sure, it was like kind of last minute. We had this little 7-acre plot that we hadn't put anything on yet, so I grew it for him. And then he showed up in the fall, and he's like, "Well, I need it right now." I'm like, "It's not ready right now because the moisture is not right, and I don't have it cleaned yet, and you just can't have it." He demanded that he take some with him right then. And then he called me later and said it didn't pop. Right.
Yeah.
You're right. So I offered to take it back, clean it, give him some, and I never heard from him again. So now I'm stuck with 30-some thousand pounds of popcorn. And, what do you do with it? And so I think about a year later, it was time for one of our festivals out here, and Beth said, "Hey, why don't we just try to see if we can sell this on Facebook?" And I had no idea that you could use Facebook to do this well of marketing. So we ended up selling like 30-some thousand pounds of mushroom popcorn in like 2-3 weeks. It was all gone. I'm like, I think there's an actual market here for this. And so in this past year, we planted like 50-some acres of mushroom popcorn. We had about 100 tons of it this direction from the school in a bin. And we've done all the marketing on these very specialized Facebook groups like kettle corn equipment vendors, kettle corn and lemonade vendors. And I went to a Blue Jackets game with a friend of mine, and we went to that market that's sort of north of the arena there. Yeah, I saw a bag of Al's popcorn, and I took a picture of the label, and I contacted them, and now they're our largest customer.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's like keeping your eyes open, what's going on. So now instead of us selling to be the wholesaler, we are the wholesaler. We're doing the growing, the cleaning, the sorting, the bagging, and now that margin that we used to give up, now that's ours. So I could see in a few years where I'm buying popcorn from other farmers and doing the processing, the cleaning, and the sorting, and really kind of taking this market off. So there's a large entrenched competitor that sells at an exorbitant price, and people are kind of mad. And I'm filling a niche that, there we are. So it started as a 7-acre thing. It's turned into a real business, basically due to Facebook marketing. And I have to give Beth credit for, kind of figuring that out. So in 25, that'll be our largest market by far. Will be wholesale popcorn. And I just expect that to continue to grow. So the issue with doing it, say, to the Boy Scouts and popping it and all that, well, now you become a food processor. Now I got to get like licenses and all that kind of stuff, and kitchens and that stuff that's a little beyond me right now. I got a barn and a school. I don't have anything clean where that would actually happen around here. And you'd really need to do it here, because that way, otherwise you're just transporting raw product 900 miles, then popping it. And now you're shipping air after that. So kind of what I figured out is you want a central processing and growing, and then distribute it from there. You don't want to bring in raw materials from a long way away and then try to do it. That's just too expensive. So a lot of this business has now become logistics based, right? So what can we do here and ship out a value added product? Well, now we've got clean, wholesale popcorn in 50-pound bags, and we're doing great at it. So the next logical step now, do you really want to compete with the customers you're selling to and not piss them off? Probably not. So I'd probably just rather increase the market share that we have in wholesale popcorn and let somebody else figure out all that flavored and popping stuff.
No, that makes perfect sense, especially when you've, like you said, kind of found your spot. And if you can grow on the opposite side, then
and because we really figured out the 50-pound bag thing in terms of distillation grains, our whole setup here is based on making 50-pound bags and doing it well. And I wouldn't say that we're doing great at it yet, but we're certainly better than we were 6 years ago, and we can just continue to improve.
I got a question. Do you buy bagged popcorn, or do you buy the bagged that you have to throw in the microwave popcorn?
Rickenbacker.
Yeah.
No. No. Why would you? That stuff's full of crap.
I know it is. I was just curious. I figured I wasn't trying to make anybody upset. I just didn't know.
The best thing to do actually is to take our popcorn and just, you can throw it in the microwave, put a little of our sunflower oil in there, a little bit of salt. It's great.
So let me ask you this: how the hell do you do? How do I do that? I've never actually let Chris in. I know you're on your phone, boss.
So
let's see. Like, if you were to take your corn, right, or your kettles, kernels, sorry, and you were to put some of that sunflower oil on it, what do I just put a lid over a bowl and just throw it in the microwave?
So
yeah.
So you can also do it on the stove in a skillet.
All I've ever done is just put the bag in. You know what I mean? I've never.
Well, see, I grew up in a time
now
where
Vaughn's never going to talk to me again because he found out I use microwavable popcorn out in the bag.
Well, I grew up. Well, see, I grew up in a time where we did it on the stove. Then obviously the microwave bags came along.
Do you remember the old curved pan that you put the popcorn in and it just popped it out?
So before I was adopted, they would give you like popcorn at the food pantry. And my mom had this thing, my biological mother had this fucking oval that was on the microwave. It plugged into the wall and it would pop her popcorn.
Yep.
I don't know what it was. It was pretty cool though. I'll tell you.
You could also stick it in a brown paper bag with a little bit of oil and it'll pop just like a regular microwave popcorn.
And that's Chris from Burnout Winery. Hey guys, Chris is here from Burnout Winery. Hey Chris, how you doing? Nice shirt, by the way. Is that the one with your logo on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just did that. We got a shirt with both logos, guys. That is for sale. $25. Anybody wants one?
What are you sipping on, boss?
Some Sangiovese.
Give me the wine. I'm gonna have to crack it.
Good thing you didn't bring a Pinot out. Vaughn might have gotten upset.
Vaughn would have absolutely shanked you
No.
if you would have. You know,
Right now, we only have one bottle left, and I'm gonna go ahead and save it for him.
okay.
Ooh, there
Well,
you
I'm
go.
going up. Hey, Vaughn, are you there on Saturdays?
Yeah.
You want to see? Oh, you're out of town, so maybe
I'm
next
out of town
Saturday.
this Saturday.
Maybe next Saturday we can run up there, drop your package off, drop your wine off, and buy a bag of that new corn that we want to try.
So this is the last Saturday coming up that I'll be here for about a month. I'm leaving on Monday.
Just
and I'll
do
be
it. Bill
back.
and I just might have to roll.
You guys might have to roll.
So this Saturday, I have all I got to do is a baseball draft for my son, and then I'm going to roll up that way, drop off your package, and buy a bag of corn. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah.
And Green Hat, if you got it.
If you stay here long enough, I'll put you to work.
You do make the kangaroo vodka. I think we need some tasters.
Look. This is the actual. This is what's going to be on the bottle.
Yeah.
Looks kind of like Bugs Bunny, but hey, my
Can I be
drawings
honest
don't
with you? I never thought that. I thought that was a very mature kangaroo, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think Hydra might be interested in a T-shirt.
Hydra man. Hydra wants one. We'll get
Hello,
you one.
Mr. Bent.
Baby. Yep, we can make that happen. We will make that
Then
happen.
we've got John.
What's up,
over
John
there
Benz?
waiting-
Firehouse Shine.
Waiting patiently.
Hold on, let's see if I was right. Vaughn, what size shirt do you wear?
XL.
Okay. I will swap it out. I'll swap the shirt out of the bag. Thought you were large. Or whatever.
So, do you sell wholesale, Vaughn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does
The
anybody
50
want-
pound bags are all wholesaled. We do retail smaller size packages, 1.5 pounds. But if you buy a 50-pound bag of popcorn for $15, or you can buy 1.5 pounds for $5.
No, I get it.
Hey, we're going up, me and Dylan. Hopefully Dylan's back. We're possibly going up Saturday after the draft to go to Vaughn's. I think that's going to happen. If you want some popcorn, I'm going to make my wife listen. She's actually sitting. You have some of the popcorn? We're popping some tonight. No, they said you can put it in a bowl, put it in the microwave, put some of that sunflower, the slipping dick.
Pull it out of your nightstand.
I'm kidding. I'm sorry. It was just a joke. My wife literally is about to punch me in the face. No, but you can just put that oil on it and just pop it in the microwave, or you can do it on the stove, he said.
Yep. Or you can do it in a paper bag.
And a paper bag. I don't know why you would do that, but there you do. What do you do? Put it in the paper bag, then put it inside the microwave?
With a little oil. Correct.
Yep.
That's actually pretty smart.
It's already in your container.
Chris must be an engineer too.
No, my brain is half the capacity of Vaughn's.
Well, did anybody knows John Bentz there? Bentz? Because I didn't.
He's being awful quiet.
Hey,
You okay,
John Bentz.
I think a few of them said it a couple times, but they couldn't get a word in with you.
That's all right. You know how it gets.
We got the word in. Stir just can't hear. I don't want to hear.
Yeah, that's true. Listen, I have to. If I drive CDL, I have to wear hearing aids. So it's when people put my headphones on, they're like, "Holy shit!" It's bad.
I agree.
I know it's bad. I'm sorry.
And I don't know how to turn them down because the other day when I was using them, I was like, "My goodness."
I can't help it, dude. I can't help it. It's like when you hear my dad and I talk to each other, it's really bad because my dad's like 3/4 deaf. So it's like nobody, everyone's embarrassed. Like if you go out to like Bob Evans or Red Lobster with us, we're screaming at each other, and my wife and my mom are like, "Stop fucking yelling." So, but John Benz, what's going on, man? What are you sipping on?
Just Mountain Dew.
Oh, okay. Why don't you pour a drink, brother? I don't know what's wrong with you, but get on my
half
show.
expected old fashioned.
I wonder why.
All my shit is for old fashions at the house. So.
It's in the truck and you ain't going out.
Last time I saw you, you had a jar of it already prepared.
That's true. You know what? To be honest with you, is your truck in your driveway?
Yeah.
There's Miller Lights in there.
No, I finished those off.
Did you?
Yeah.
I love it.
He finished them off going on the way to fire train.
All right, so we got Vaughn Davis on here. I know John Bentz, he's opening up a distillery, which, by the way, John, we were just talking about how shitty Ohio is. We should tag him. Can we tag Ohio, please?
Tag Ohio in that real quick.
And also tag Mike DeWine and Jim Tressel, because I think now he's the lieutenant governor.
Hey, but we might get some poll. Go ahead and tag Vance in that.
JD?
Yeah, JD.
Oh, he's from Ohio. And go ahead and tag Vivek Ramworthy. I think he's.
Yeah.
I'm excited too.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna.
I will say the other day I got a piece sent to me where it talked about a distillery in Ohio, and I forget what distillery they was, but after 5 years they finally got their approval.
We're not doing 5 years. I will shit on Ohio before that happens.
Johnny Bear clapped that shit down and moved to Indiana, with Vaughn.
I was gonna say I'll ship her down and move to Tennessee. I know another distillery that's been fast tracked right now.
You ain't kidding.
Yeah, man, he's killing it over Tracy Bumgardner. Man, Tennessee's doing him good.
Yeah,
right
I
now.
almost felt bad listening to the interview with Tracy.
Yeah, I was so happy
knowing where you were at with your stuff and the shit. He's like, yeah, I had no issues.
Yeah, I was never so happy for somebody, but so sad at the same time. I'm like,
can we
then
start
you got
tagging?
two really good buddies that one's flying by and the other was still sitting.
Well, you look
idle.
at some other people like they were having issues, but our buddy Lawrence had Pritchard. I think he's over at Lake Erie, around Lake Erie. I think he had issues.
Toledo. Yep.
Where's he from?
He's up at Maumee, Toledo area.
Toledo. Thank you. He had issues.
Yep.
But then you see other people, and the one in Troy opened up really quick. I don't understand it. Maybe we need to
They don't actually just. So here I have like a little I don't know, bone to pick or whatever. How do you get called a distillery when you actually don't distill anything yourself on
I'm just
site?
glad Fred's not on here because Fred has aneurysms when we talk about that. It's a good point. There's actually one in Troy that they call themselves a distillery. They don't make. I'm not going to say it on here because they are friends of ours. But how do you? They're not friends of ours. I just don't want to shit talk them. But,
I know where you're talking.
But then I'm going to backtrack and shit talk. But how do you?
Like 12 minutes from my house.
Yeah. So it is confusing because if you're actually not, running it through a still, which would be a distillery, right? Yeah. You're doing. What would you call it? You would call it. You're taking the clear liquor and you're
a mixer.
Bartender.
Yeah, big ass bartender.
We're the barrelers. I own my own barreling company. I don't know.
Well,
it's a good question.
I got a question. It comes down to have some damn pride. I don't want to put something else out that someone else made. Have some pride. I understand. Supposedly it's cheaper, but have some pride and do something for yourselves.
Maybe some people really strive to. I've learned over the last 2 days. I never admit when I'm wrong, but I did today, didn't I? Boys?
Well, no, we weren't talking about that ever again.
Yeah, I am now. So I did a true crime podcast, and I only looked one. I had Tunnel Vision, and we had the most views we've had ever. Yeah. Mostly negative, but I made a bunch of friends on there, and it's actually going quite well now. But what I did learn is
subs went up 110%.
I know, dude. Like, you have grown so much over the last 24 hours. I'm like, fuck it, it's all negative, but I don't care. No, it's actually working out pretty good right now. I learned how to not I know my head's actually big, but not actually, what I'm saying? So I realized I was wrong, admitted it, and I'm having a good time with it. But the thing is, when it comes down to wanting to do something, you do it, right? So I wanted to talk about this true crime episode. So I put it out there. I didn't think a lot about it, or I didn't put a lot of effort into it. I put it out. It was a fucked up episode. I regret putting it out, but I admit it. I was wrong. But maybe these people that have this dream of doing something, maybe they don't have the money or they don't have the time to research it. So they get that liquor and then they just wrongly put it on a bottle that they're distilling it. But at the end of the day, they could just be really wanting to do it. And so they're doing what they can to put out something with their name on it. You know what I'm saying? I think I don't want to hate on those guys necessarily.
It's probably easier for them to get the license to
It could
barrel
be.
it than it is
Is
to
it
distill
though?
it.
Is it? I'm assuming it's a whole different license. I think.
I would assume it's easier to get a license opposed to distilling it. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I just make wine.
Just text me and say I didn't make sense. Listen, what I'm saying, like when I did that episode on Friday, the true crime one, it was just something that, I put it out. I didn't research. Maybe I didn't have the time. Maybe people don't have the time to do distillation, but they have the time just to do that one part. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, absolutely.
And I don't think those people are wrong, but I think Vaughn has a point.
Well,
you can't put on your bottle that it's a distillery when you're not distilling the product. So I think the state needs to do a better job at separating the two. If you're getting your stuff from what is it? MGP? MGP, and you're not distilling it. What is that? I'm sorry.
MGD,
right? Sorry. So if you're getting your liquor from there, be proud of the fact that you turned it into something good, but don't call it a distillery because that's not what it is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my.
You could always call
the only thing required is they can't put on there that they distilled it. It has to say distilled by, and then it has to say bottled by.
Right, but who reads the fine print? Am I wrong, John? How many times has somebody signed something without reading it? Right.
Hey, what we talked about earlier?
Read.
You read a jar and you go,
get that tiny print.
Big Sturge Distillery. That is, I assume that they made the product. Unless you're into what we do, we like to read our bottles and understand it. I think it's a really good point. Let's see what this is. Where does it say it on the back?
Fine print on the back.
Mm-hmm.
It's Somerset.
Produced in by Whole Bourbon.
What is that?
Vaughn, what goes into crossbreeding different varieties of corn?
Vaughn, what did yours say?
It said grown, distilled, malted, and bottled by that company. So they do it all.
I know we have multiple.
Chris asked me a question about how do you cross-pollinate corn. So you basically grow two kinds of corn. You cut off the tassels off the top of one of them, and then the other one pollinates those, and then you have a cross.
So it is a science.
The male part of the corn plant is the what's on top, the tassel. The female is the ear on the bottom.
Okay. I was always curious about that, how you come up with a new
corn is a self-pollinating plant. You could have one plant that'll you'll have corn. Maybe not a lot, but it's self-pollinating. So you want to cut that, or you can just jumble it all together and grow it all together. Then it'll mix on its own. But
so you don't have to come and
you cut the male part of the plant off, and then it's pollinated by a different one.
Okay.
Yeah, I've always heard if you're going to grow like a Ohio Blue and a Bloody Butcher, to plant them like 2 or 3 weeks apart. That way their pollination times are a little different. That way they don't crossbreed on each other.
Yeah, the other thing you want to do is you want to you try to grow them at least 100 feet apart from each other too, with a buffer in between them. So we usually put ours in completely different fields. There's a lot of other corn growing around here too, so pollen blows everywhere. So even if you're next to a modern hybrid corn, that pollen could blow into your heirloom field and pollinate it as well.
Yeah,
I got a question. I'm raising my hand because I don't want to be rude.
Okay.
All right. Sturge, go. Your hand's up.
I know. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Vaughn Davis. Mr. Davis, I am actually reading this, and
it's weird.
He's here to tell me right now.
Yep.
You just read it. The smallest print on this. I told you this was actually made by Horse Soldier. It is not.
No.
Actually, the government warning is way bigger than these words I'm about to tell you. I want to take my glasses off. www.horsesoldierbourbon.com, produced and bottled for Horse Soldier Bourbon, Somerset, Kentucky, produced and distilled by 2023 American Freedom Distilling Company. It is the smallest words on here, and that is all marketing scheme. It looks like if you read that, you would read it quickly like I did and say, yeah, they made it.
Yep.
So just
for them,
yeah.
not by.
Fun fact, the reason the warning label is, or the warning print is the printed is because it's government regulated. You have to have it a certain size and font. It's got to be
Okay,
word.
why is the IA 5 cents in Michigan bigger than the who actually distilled it? That's not important.
That's
I
for
agree with you. I'm just saying.
knowledge.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't even live in Michigan. I don't give a shit if I can get 5 cents.
Well, we can
I've
collect
got-
the bottles and drive up there.
You
I've
can't
got
actually
three
do it. You have
different
to have a
bottles.
Michigan license.
I've got 3 different bottles. This one says distilled, and that's Hatfields. Distilled and bottled by Hatfields. Actually, it says sweeter. How does it say? Sweeter side of the Feud Distillery. This one says, I just had it there. Bottled by Jimmy Jack's Shine Shack. And then this one I know comes from a bourbon. And it's the guy that I got the bar from out here. Blended and bottled by Mountain State Distillery. And I know when he was open, he was getting his from, I think it was North Carolina, if I remember right. He was ordering it in 50-gallon barrels and having it shipped into him.
What's crazy is, it's just that literal one word difference on that label. Bottled for or bottled by.
Yep.
And it's just it's that one little word, even though it's very tiny and minuscule on the bottle.
Right.
But if you don't pay attention, like Sturge was saying, if you read over that sentence, sometimes you might just read it over and think, hey, they're doing their own thing.
You think that's crazy, you said. But listen, what I think's crazy is Vaughn uses a weed whacker at his farm. That's what I find. I mean, that guy doesn't even use tractors. This is he listen, everything you get from this guy, it's weed whacking driven. It doesn't make a difference. Like, Vaughn, can you hit on that for us, brother?
What am I answering?
He doesn't use a weed whacker.
Yes, he does.
He uses a scythe.
No, he uses a weed whacker. Hold in the comments.
Yeah, you can see him out there swinging that scythe to get the corn down.
Anthony, Sturge, I've now modified the statement here. It's distilled and bottled by SHF, the Kangaroo vodka.
There we go.
But you have to, in order to sell it, they have to watch the video of this podcast episode before at least that one, right? I want you to learn the history about this bottle. We have an idiot there in Springfield that bought kangaroo shit, even though his wife told him not to. And he didn't grow shit last year. You can ask, my wife's literally giggling right now. Only thing we grew was thistles. Thistles, dude. My wife's like, you might want to put gloves on.
Thistles are edible.
I'm down there trying to pull them out, and I'm like, God, shit, take me to urgent care.
Jack Hanna or Steve Irwin didn't show up.
How do you know they didn't?
Well, I know Steve didn't.
Oh. That's fucked up. I forgot I got stabbed by
I'm
a
just trying to figure out what zoo this company's getting the stuff from.
Stephanie, am I wrong?
Oh, well, my assumption, if
here.
they're getting it from a zoo, it has to be either a local petting zoo or the Cincinnati or Columbus Zoo. That would be my thought.
From a local zoo, they said, and they
local,
used Listen,
it wasn't a zoo. It was a local circus. It's called Springfield, Ohio Wastewater Treatment Plant.
It's probably the same houses right outside of Troy and London that have those exotic
animals. First off, I don't know. First off, y'all are making fun of me. No, time out. This ain't Zanesville where they let all the animals out.
That was another one too. Yeah,
we should cover that case and get shit on YouTube for 3 days. That's a great idea. But listen, my wife's like, don't buy it. She told me I was like, no, I think we should give it a chance. Like, we should give it a shot. I said,
yeah, look at the size of elephants, man. They gotta have some good vitamins.
Well, I was honestly thinking the kangaroo shit, they shit a lot. You watch the videos of them hopping in the deserts and shit. Like, they're always shitting. So go ahead, Vaughn. You were holding your hand.
Yeah, I was wondering how we got from heirloom corn, sunflowers, and distillation and talking about kangaroo shit on your garden.
Well, here you go. There's a comment he just pulled up for you. You can put that on your bottle too.
Well, should we hit his comment? I mean, Vaughn made a good point here. Do you want to know how we got there? You're on American Whiskey. It's quite. If you watched the show, brother, I have ADD. I have ADD, and everyone says you can't have ADD and ADHD. I'm a fact that you absolutely can. It's a fact. Like, I'm just unmedicated. It's whatever.
He truly has 80 of them bitches.
Oh, your internet's atrocious, by the way, John Benz. But
Wow.
hey, it's
I
Jeopardy.
think I'm not on Wi-Fi.
Give me an eye. How many eyes?
Listen, Vaughn lives out in the middle of nowhere, and his internet hasn't skipped once.
Starlink, baby, Starlink.
Are you really on Starlink?
You bet.
Thank you, Elon.
Fucking Elon. You know
So it
what's
works
I did
better
hear that.
than wired internet to your house.
I mean, it's better than your brother's internet, and he has a wire to his house.
So
That's
Yeah,
a
but-
good job.
I mean, Vaughn Davis looks like he's sitting right over there. I mean, it looks good to me.
So Starlink, is there a do you have like a satellite or whatever you got to put out that they give you?
Yeah, it's actually on a kangaroo, and it kind of hops around.
Gets the best signal all night long.
Well, we're talking Starlink, and you went to Kangaroo, but I'm getting shit on because I went from one topic to another.
So yeah, no, I've got a satellite receiver and transmitter. It sits on the outside of the school. Works perfect.
How do you keep the Kangaroo on top of the school?
It's a long story. Leash.
We'll get there another day.
It's got some nice fencing up around the top.
That's odd. That's odd.
Yeah, he has to deal with animal control on a regular basis.
Dude, honestly, look at Vaughn compared to John. Wired Starlink. Wired Starlink. Oh no, it's just
How
a
about
cameraman. What'd you say?
Yeah.
I'm looking on my computer.
He's trying to get Starlink.
No, I'm trying to check up.
He's got to pay his internet bill.
See if my shit hit the state today or not.
Oh, did it?
Does
Probably
it say pending on the website?
No, I'm trying to see if it made it there again because they sent all my
Oh,
shit
okay.
back to me.
I sent it without a post stamp, but I don't know. It might have made it.
Yes.
So, John, tell Vaughn what happened to you the other day when you got into your mailbox.
So for about a week, I've been calling and asking about my shit, whether, it's made it in there or not. And what I couldn't find it on the internet about, whether it's pending or what's going on. I got a hold of Doug and Cheryl told me where to look. Ended up being, they kept telling me it never made it there. I talked to 3 different people. They all told me it never made it there. And then I come back Friday from getting barrels in Cincinnati. And I got a package here from the Department of Commerce, Liquor Control, saying that it didn't have this form in it, didn't have that form in it, said I had to fill out a DBA, which they told, well, shit. There we are. You're back.
Oh, jeez, you fucking dude.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Welcome to John Bennett.
A second. Somebody got on the house phone. He'll be back in a second. He's going to dial up.
Listen, his internet's worse than Fred's.
Honestly, I can take the 10-second delay from Fred. I can't handle this guy's, dude. It's like he's still living at home. And do you remember dial up? You're like, hey, mom, you care if I call my girlfriend? No, sweetheart. I'm playing. They play the card games online back in the day. I'm playing what solitary.
Mine was the opposite. My mom would try to make business calls. I'll be playing in chat rooms on AOL.
Oh, for sure, AOL for sure. And Vaughn Davis is over here looking better than us on fucking wired up internet. So whatever.
So do you
Look, John will see
plan
me.
on?
Go ahead, John.
You could have just told me that my story was boring before cutting me off.
We didn't do anything, dude.
We were all sitting here and you just disappeared.
All right, so you're dialed back in here. So
Anyway, after them telling me it never made it there, and I got home on Friday, I'll make it quick so Sturge don't cut me off again.
Sturge doesn't have any controls.
The package made it here that said that it didn't have my check in it, which my check, was filled out and sent in. I know it was. It's out of the checkbook. And then turned around and said I didn't fill out a DBA form, which I was told by them I didn't have to. So I had to send it all back in again for now the 3rd time.
He's working. Hey, listen, Vaughn, the moral of the story is at the state. Who's in the comments listening still? At the state. Who do we want to at? Who do we want to at?
Well, I don't even
Governor
know.
DeWine, of course.
I don't even know who's holding up his process. I mean,
listen, I say we start at every senator we fucking hear. No.
Well, it just I don't know what the holdup is with the state of Ohio.
All right, I'll at Elon. It'll be done next week.
Hey, John, I do appreciate the fact that you're making your own stuff. I love that.
Legally, it's not for sale.
Yeah, not for sale. Yeah.
Vaughn's not real happy that
Now-
you're not using corn. It's all blueberry.
That right there at the end, the mason jar.
Yeah. Did he reach out to you, Vaughn, about getting some corn?
Who?
John.
Have you tried it?
John has some of my
I've got
stuff,
some-
I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was just checking.
That was part of the red, white, and blue.
We get it.
And are you
He's
carrying
got
Jimmy
some-
Red? Are you carrying Jimmy Red or just Bloody Butcher?
Bloody Butcher. Someday I'm going to do a DNA test on it to prove that it's the same stuff.
See, for some reason, I think I taste a difference in it. I don't know why, but I just, and maybe it's the processing of, the way that people's running it too. Because like
Yeah, someday I'm
Taylor,
going to do that. Someday I'm going to do that.
So how do you go
Yeah.
about a
Doug
DNA
Taylor's
test?
American Rebel, I can drink.
You do a DNA testing on a plant just like you would a human. You just get some
Oh,
liquid
okay.
out of it. And Same.
Put it out there.
You sitting there like 21andMe, or is it?
yeah, except it's in this case it's 44 in corn.
Ancestry.com.
It's 44 in corn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're probably right. I better just drink it on.
Did you know that a banana and humans share a lot of the same DNA characteristics?
No.
Oh, Sturge, yeah.
Sure. How you doing? I'm trying to do better with my since I can't have the Ritalin anymore with my hands. John, out of curiosity, was it when we were running or we were just filming you run and nobody took any jars or anything because you can't legally do that? You're trying to open up a distillery, but what was the proof when it was coming out? Like 141?
I think our highest was like 135. That was on because we wasn't running a thumper, but we was running that blueberry is what it was. I think it was 135 for the highest.
Yeah.
We come out.
Unfortunately, we didn't get to
45
try
degree.
it, but I'm sure it's fantastic.
Maybe
That
next
was
time I'll
actually one of my questions to the state.
What, brother?
Was the mayor keeps saying he wants to come down while we're running
Yeah.
and see if we'll run and talk the process and everything, but he also wants to try it while he's here.
Well,
So I asked the state about that because state of Ohio makes you sell a tasting,
yeah.
and they told me if I did that, I was operating without a license at that point.
No, that's what I'm saying. We want only thing we could do while we were down there was he would proof it down.
Sounds like collusion from the
We
mayor.
would see it. We never got a shot to try it because he's stickler on it. But I'm telling you this, it smelled just like blueberries.
Yes. Yes, it did.
It smelled just like, and that's why I said I thought it was 141. Your highest proof is what I thought you got at. But I'm telling you right now, it smelled just like blueberries. The whole room did. Am I wrong, John?
No, I got 28 gallons of it in there to temper down for whenever I get legal.
Fuck you, Ohio.
So when you're tempering it down, do you have to have a certain proof before you can sell it in Ohio?
I think, which I can't say for sure because I won't go that high with it, but I think you can serve or sell in Ohio up to 151.
You guys don't remember Bacardi 151?
I do.
I do fucking too.
But-
Unfortunately.
Flame it, Mr. Pepper.
I mean, unless you're going to make your own drinks out of it, who the hell wants 151?
That's true.
Yeah.
So
So we.
I want to have, when I first started, I was chasing proof really, really hard when I first started about I don't know, 18 years ago. And now it's more about the flavor, not the proof.
All right,
Back
so
then I was stupid and all. Go ahead.
Sorry, I have to hit this comment because I'm really excited about this. Is our first Tuesday true crime comment. Right?
Oh yeah.
Casbow off of YouTube. Hopefully I said that correct. It looks about right. Hey boys, let me know your next true crime case. That will be on Friday. Peanut won't be here. Neither will he. It might just be me and Levi. Or Levi won't be here. It might just be me. I don't know. I think Michaela might join us. We had her on a couple weeks ago.
I can still hop on. I'll just be in the comments.
Yeah. We're going to do it over Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm going to call it medium rare.
You see Vaughn's face.
Medium rare. Seared oil. Sunflower oil.
We got the kangaroo, man.
Kangaroo.
Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you clip that part and make that a please? You haven't done one in 9 months. Can you do one for me? That one.
Yeah.
Can you clip that?
And Vaughn, if you make that happen, that has to be the label right there.
I just wanted to
It's got to be on the notebook paper and everything.
Hashtag peanut rocks.
No, whatever. No, but would that be a good listen, we started up some things last Friday. Why not start a few things up this Friday, right?
Oh boy, no, that's
You do. What's called when you have the 2 periods? What's that called? A hyphen.
What do you?
Right?
What are you talking about?
When you
A
say a
It's a
word,
semicolon. No,
colon. That's a
it's a
colon.
semicolon.
colon.
A colon. So that's the 2 dots.
yeah.
So you
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer, colon.
Jesus.
Kind of interesting. Medium rare.
He said no,
right.
Dahmer.
How about this? Cass, what nickname him? Cass, right?
Sure.
Cass. Is it Cass? Cass, what would you want me to do it over? What do you want to do it over? I thought medium rare was funny. I did too. It's gonna piss people off, but I'm Vaughn, will you listen in on Friday? How do you like your liver?
Onions.
Onions. No, Cass, what do you want it to be on, man? I have a couple scripts written up. I'll write one by the time Friday rolls around. I really appreciate that comment. That makes my heart, because I talked to Fred and you boys this week. It was a rough 2 days at first. You know what I'm saying? But then we ended up gaining a bunch of followers. It was good. Vaughn, it was great. Wait till I send them your popcorn. And then I'll send that shit in a Ziploc bag. They'll be like, what do I do with this? I'm like, put it in a brown paper sack with some oil, throw it in a microwave.
We're trying to solve cases in your
Throw some
cornfield.
stick and dip on that bitch and throw it in the microwave.
We solving cases in the
So
cornfield.
Vaughn, go ahead, buddy. Sorry.
No, when you got that, medium rare thing you got going on there, just mix it in with that zoo shit, put some lime on it, it'll disappear forever.
That's what I'm
At least all DNA will be gone.
I was thinking that medium rare shit should probably be like Children of the Corn popcorn.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
So
Talk about a bloody butcher.
Jason Davis. Jason Davis here. It has a good point. You're going to have your haters, which we've got them. Other podcasts hate us. It's fine. But this was like, I woke up so we did it Friday. I woke up on Monday and over what was it? Literally like a 14-hour period. Who's JBR?
Well, we're about to find out.
Tell us who JBR is, brother. So I woke up on Monday, or what day was it? It was Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Tuesday.
No.
So Monday. Well, I don't fucking know. Monday. I get my shit
You
off.
woke up. That's a blessing.
Thank to God. I actually woke up and I was thankful to God. And then I looked at my phone and it was like 976 notifications.
John Benet Ramsey.
John Benet Ramsey. I already have a script written up for that.
Oh well, there you go.
That's great. Who do you think killed him? Who do you think killed her? I'm actually interested in that because
Parents.
I have my theory. No way.
No.
It was the corn farmer.
Okay.
Oh God.
So that was you're odd, Chris. So I started looking at all the comments and everybody shit on us because I was having Gypsy Rose Blanchard's back. I was like, if you can manipulate your daughter, for so long, and I said murder is not justifiable, but if it is justifiable, doing what you did to your daughter, making her seem like she had cancer and all this, and shaving her head and getting money and doing the Ronald McDonald, if murder was justifiable, I said that was it. And if it's not, that's why she went to prison for 8.5 years. She did her time. Leave her alone. People got really upset. There was, I mean, you guys can attest. There was hundreds of comments flooding it. You know, I think it was too, bro. So I literally, so there was one guy, he was like a midget, and he made a comment on there, and he was like completely.
Don't say midget. He was a little person.
So he was like, hey, fat ass, like learn how to write a fucking script. And so I looked at his profile. I saw he was like a little person. So I put on there, 4'1", blow me. And then I got flagged for bullying, and I was like, how do you do that to me? Like, I just got bullied with 900 comments. I say one thing, you're 4'1", blow me, and I'm over here like the devil. I'm like, why would you comment about me being fat if I can't comment about your height?
Hey, not everybody can be tall, okay?
Well, it wasn't.
Yeah, just ask John's son-in-law.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said son-in-law and didn't stop at John.
But then I got into the whole thing, and I deleted all my bad comments.
Can all be told.
And I kept a lot of the criticism, and I said, hey, look, I'm going to look at a different angle. I'll come back at it. I'll do another episode. I apologize. You know, I didn't, you know, I said I looked at it in one angle. I said, that's my bad. I'm going to go back. I'm going to look at it. Now we've gained a bunch of followers and shit. It ended up being a good thing. But I'm really apologize to 4'1". That's my bad. Blow me. Well,
in about a year, we'll be able to give you some kangaroo stuff. Maybe you can jump up and give us a high five.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It all started right here.
His literally like
started out with one engineer.
His YouTube name was Too Short to Care. I'm like, what does that even mean? So I clicked on the profile. I was like, well, that makes sense. His wife's coddling him into it like a baby, like rocking him to sleep, like
in the middle of the store.
Yeah, they were like at a Costco, dude, and he's like, hey babe, pick me up, let's take a selfie. They were like taking a video. I'm like, bro, why would you call me round? Watch this comment. You don't got to hit your knees.
You just gotta realize we can't make everybody happy. We can just be ourselves.
I do. Oh, I forgot another question.
That's what gets us in trouble.
That's true.
Vaughn Davis, when I wrote your commercial, when I was getting like diving into that, you had another person that you work with. She's from New Hampshire, correct?
Maine.
Okay, sorry. Is there a business? Is the business there as well?
Yeah. So we operate out of a old cotton mill building in Somersworth, New Hampshire. So it's on the Salmon Falls River between Maine and New Hampshire. It used to have, I don't know how many thousands of cotton spindles in there. Anyway, it was operated by a water power. With a 4,000, I think, horsepower, all mechanically done throughout the building back in the 1870s. That's pretty cool, huh?
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Super awesome.
You never cease to amaze me, Vaughn, with what you got going on.
Pardon?
Was your Starlink messing up?
No, go ahead. I
sorry. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, you just never cease to amaze me with all the stuff you got going on.
Yeah, so my business partner Beth works out of the Somersworth building, and that's where we do all of the basically anything that's 5 pounds and less all gets done at that facility, and then anything larger, which is around 25 to 50 pounds, gets done here. So all the internet business gets done out of the Somersworth office, all the bottling, all the small bags that we do, that's all done back in New Hampshire.
Do certain things grow better there opposed to here, or vice versa?
We actually grow everything here in Ohio.
Okay.
There in New Hampshire. That's the snowboarding capital, baby.
A lot of people have asked us about growing things in New England. It's very difficult to grow any kind of good corn up there. The growing season's short, as you might imagine. we are the eastern side of the corn belt right here. So popcorn, heirloom corn, regular corn, all grows really well right here. No reason to mess up a good thing.
Out of curiosity, Vaughn, I'm a big true crime guy. Do you know who Mara Murray is? I know you got ties in New Hampshire.
I do not know that name. No.
Oh, he said fucking man. My wife just corrected me. Damn it. I'm so sorry. Listen, forget about it. All right.
I do like history though. So if you give me about a day, I could probably talk intelligently on it to you for hours. So.
Okay, yeah, check out Mara Murray. She went missing in New Hampshire on a dark road, and it's never been solved. And I did a podcast on it. I think that she voluntarily left life. A lot of people think that she was killed by a serial killer.
Yeah, that's one of the first podcasts.
One of the first.
How do you know it was a dark road?
Because she went. No, it's not report. She went. So all right, I'll tell you a little bit of the story. So she went to UMass for college. She left UMass and was going to the mountains in New Hampshire, and somewhere. So she broke down on the side of the road, like out in the country in the middle of nowhere, where there's only a couple houses and a few miles. And multiple people pulled over and like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "Oh, my car, it's not working now." There's a whole story to that. Like she kind of hit a snowbank, car shut off. And after that, nobody ever heard from her again. And a lot of people think like the crime of opportunity is really rare. So that means like a serial killer driving down that road at that time of night is very rare. There's probably, they say, about 30 active serial killers in the United States today. A lot of people think that's a whole lot, but it's really not if you look at the population in America and the fact that, back in like the 70s, like Zodiac era and stuff like that, there wasn't a lot of computers and, what would that be, technology, I guess. So there was a lot more active then. So to think that a serial killer would be driving down at 1 a.m. in a New Hampshire dark road is crime of opportunity is just not there. But most people think that's what happened. I say that she was trying to get away because her boyfriend was abusive. Possibly she was pregnant because she was Googling things at that time about pregnancy and abortion. So she was trying to get away and people were following her. She pulled the car off the road, got in a car, she left and disappeared. So it's Mara Murray. I'd be interested in your take.
All right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make this a true crime podcast. My bad. Let's talk about corn. Let's talk about corn or something. It's fine.
Corn.
But do you understand? Crime of opportunity is super fucking rare. Most people that are kidnapped, what do you hear? We got an Amber Alert. Who took her?
Family.
Somebody knew. Somebody got shot and murdered in the house. It was a bad drug deal, or it was a pissed off husband. Yeah, it's still a crime of opportunity is super rare. It's everything's got to align. Most serial killers, things have to align for them to make, to do that. So most people, I'd say 80% of people think Mara Murray was killed by a serial killer. I find that very hard to believe. So
I see your point.
Yeah. So whatever. I'm afraid to get shoved in the trunk and disappearing. So
well, luckily when you came up here, it did not happen. So
well, it was the crime of opportunity. If you were going to do it, that would have been the opportunity to do it. No one would have really seen it, man. Especially, I came up there to pick up corn, like a skid of corn one time, and you didn't do it then. So I know damn well you ain't going to do it now.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. I'm going to go up there. He's like, damn, he's 150 pound down. I could probably do it.
You can be like, hey,
They're coming at you in the tractor.
For me and clean it out a little bit.
Just the medium rare, probably not good enough. So no.
That's a pretty funny episode name.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer. ...
Medium
rare.
No.
It's a different meaning
Sorry,
to bloody
colon.
butcher if you're in the
Colon.
if you're in the corn.
John Benz, do you like Jeffrey Dahmer? How do you like your steak?
I'm a well done.
That does not surprise me.
It really gives a whole new meaning
Who the
to
fuck
nuggets.
eats a steak well done, you sicko?
Yuck. Yeah.
No, Dahmer definitely gives a whole new meaning to nuggets.
What's that mean, dude?
Didn't he like eat?
I prefer to get mine well done at restaurants because you never know.
All right, I've eaten them all rare,
Well,
medium rare in my life, and I'm still here.
You tell them at a restaurant well done, and it comes out medium well anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I wouldn't touch a medium well.
Not me, man. Wipe its ass, knock the horns off, and slap her on the plate.
That's what I'm saying, baby. I'm like, we went to Texas Roadhouse a couple weeks ago on the date. Like, how do you want it? I was like, just like a minute on that side, a minute on the other. They're like, well, it's got to be like 120 degrees or something like that. I was like, oh, whatever.
All right.
Get to how fucking rare you can make it.
At 119, take it off and let it sit for 10 minutes.
Shit,
And now I see why you want to do the Dahmer episode.
Eating a cow and a man's asshole is completely different, sir.
I don't know. I never ate a human. It might be quite tasty.
I don't know. I mean, there was a serial killer in Texas and Canada who butchered up human beings and fed them in food trucks.
Yeah, they were like rated number 1 or something.
Imagine if you would have had that hamburger and find out an hour or a year later that you ate it. No, Vaughn and Chris would be like, fuck it, I'll eat it again.
I don't know about that.
I'm just saying that actually happened. So
I'm actually picky.
We're 2 hours in. I know Vaughn said he's going to stick around, for the whole night, but I don't.
He says shit's getting a little freaky for me now. Time to go.
I'm gonna get off.
We're waiting on corn and crops at this point, so the fertilizer thing was pretty good, but
yeah, whatever.
All I will say is the best part was that we ended up with this.
That is a great idea.
Hold that still for a second, boss.
I had kangaroo turkey the other day.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, Jungle Jim's.
So you're saying we can put kangaroo meat inside of a mash?
Hell yeah!
I had kangaroo jerky not too long ago.
That's what he just said too. I will say we're gonna have a guy on here. I don't want to mention his name yet, but he actually won Master Distiller by with a smoked brisket. That's how he did his. You know who I'm talking about, John, right? Still talking. Just had him on.
Yeah.
Won the episode by. I think he actually fermented a smoked brisket and actually won the episode. He did, and I guess it was absolutely phenomenal. And which would be crazy because there's a lot of fat in brisket, right?
Right.
So that's going to carry over a lot of oils. But at the end of the episode, he won it.
So does Bloody Butcher.
What'd you say? Okay, John, does it not have a lot of oils in it?
What, a brisket or Bloody Butcher?
Bloody Butcher.
Both.
Bloody Butcher, dude.
Yes, Bloody Butcher does have a lot of oils in it.
Okay.
But oil can equal flavor, so.
I've always ran Ohio Blue Corn, so when I ran the Bloody Butcher, I was like, "Holy shit!" Like it was a big difference.
Yep.
Which I still say Ohio Blue Corn's the best. The Bloody Butcher was good. It ended up a good product.
Your Argentina orange.
The Argentina orange, which I got that from Vaughn Davis, that ended up being good. That was also oily, I thought.
The Cherokee white out here?
No, it wasn't. No, the Argentina orange wasn't oily. It was fruity almost. Remember?
Yeah.
It had like a really high, like fruity taste to it. It was different.
What's out here? I just walked by from the
Cherokee.
Is that Cherokee White Eagle?
Yeah, so that's Cherokee White Eagle,
and
smoked 2-row, and
we just remashed it. And man, it smells amazing.
Vaughn, I think you'll like this, man. So we got a free bag of Cherokee White, and I smoked some. What'd you say, John? I don't remember.
Go ahead.
Was it smoked? Was the rye smoked?
Yeah.
So it's got rye, barley.
I thought it was your barley.
It was the barley. Thank you.
Smoked barley, and then you had the rye.
The rye, and we weren't too sure about it at first, but we ran it. Ended up being pretty good, and we ended up barreling it. So I'm pretty excited about it. But we got a couple clear jars. I'll have you try it. It's really good. So all right, boys. 2:04 in here.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody falling asleep here. So.
I gotta go to work.
Oh, damn. You're working now? That
Yes,
sucks.
I'm
All right.
working.
Me too.
As always, I'm Sturge.
Dougie Fresh.
Peanut.
Vaughn.
There we go.
Chris.
Uh-huh. That's John
Go ahead,
Benson.
Chris.
Internet. He's delayed.
I said Chris
I
like
let
15
Chris
minutes.
go ahead, but John Benson Firehouse Shine.
We are
We
kangaroo
are
shit.
American whiskey.
We are
And don't forget to
whiskey.
check
Burned Out Winery.
Don't forget to try out the kangaroo when it comes out.
It's
gonna be delicious. All right, guys.